It's another day, the sun is shining. Got to know what's going on around you. Wake up, it's the time to motivate your mind. Come with me, let's make this moment brighter. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Come on and wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Wake up with the Bahamas at sunrise. Hey.
My life is not the same. Welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise. Nobody told us we were on with you, so you probably heard our conversation about the gym and working out and how much it's hurting me, but how Phil and I are back in it.
Push through it,
Happy
man.
Friday.
Push
It is
through it.
International Women's Day, and I am Anastasia Felicia. It is a joy to be with you at Bahamas at Sunrise.
That's a long introduction.
It was.
Listen, I'm Philip Simon, TGIF.
You know, well, they knew we were talking already because nobody said, hey, guys, you're on camera. So, yeah, listen, we are so excited to be with you again, wanting to wish all of the women out there happy International Women's Day. It's been over 100 years now, Phil, or about that we've been celebrating this day since 1909. Yeah, about 100 years
Listen,
now.
man, every day is Women's Day, every day. Listen, before we go any further, I have to say happy birthday to Cherry Simon. To Cherry Simon. It's the 9th. Listen, have a wonderful day tomorrow. Love you so much.
you're
I'm pretty
tomorrow,
sure.
though.
No, on Monday.
Oh, you're Monday. Okay, I thought it was back to back. Okay, but happy birthday, Sherry. Wishing you a wonderful one. See, we get to celebrate you today, Sherry. International Women's Day. You've been with Phil for all these years. You are the real MVP. And so we want to say a very, very happy birthday to you. I only get to deal with him on Mondays and Fridays, but, you know, more power to you, sister. And while we're sending out happy birthdays, of course, Phil will be celebrating on Monday, so we're going to do something special for
don't tell me
him.
that.
But Miss Muggs, our Margaret Aubrey, she helps to keep this show running, and she celebrated her birthday earlier this week, so wishing her a belated happy birthday. And of course, we've got a wonderful show lined up for you going into a great weekend.
We got
It's
a busy show. Listen, it was a long week, man. It was a long week, but anyway, we won't talk about it. But we've got a great show lined up with you. We have Joanne Callender on the studio today. She's talking about her book, Breastless Beauty, and she's such a star. Very pleased to have on the show. We have students from the Life at Key International School. They're going to be doing some TED Talks with us this morning.
Awesome.
I think they're very excited about that. And of course, we're going to find out more about the Brad Sun. Huh? You know what that is?
No, tell me more.
That's a newly commissioned vessel from Focal.
Okay, sounds good. In addition to that, we've got the Alive Weekend Calendar coming up for you. And I got to have conversations earlier this week with Global Ports. They're the group that's going to be coming in and doing the redevelopment of downtown Nassau. So that should be a good conversation as well. We're also happy to be talking about International Women's Day. I've said it 3 times on the show already, and I get to say it again. The Department of Gender and Family Affairs really giving us some more information as to why this day is important and some of the work they're doing to promote it. And of course, it's Kidney Month, and so we've got the Kidney Center
about
here. They got, indeed. Well, you should be that poster child. Let's talk about it.
Well, I
I'll
think I
manage
already
you.
am. I'm wearing the vest and everything today.
Oh.
Godfrey said I look like a cowboy this morning, man. Yeah?
It's different, but you know, you're still handsome, so I can rock it. I'm wearing my purple for International Women's Day 4 times. And now we're going to turn things over to Godfrey Burnside. He's got our first look at weather, and then we get to carry on with this very busy show. But G-Man, let us know what the weather looks like for the weekend.
Weather at Sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, sir, and good morning, Bahamas. I have a couple of birthday wishes also. Happy belated birthday to Maggie Albury, and also this morning, a special lady, Flossie Seymour. I call her Tiny. She's going to be 103 this weekend. Have a great one, and she's still up and about in Chippingham. So good morning, Antani, and happy birthday. First look at weather. Do have a high pressure to the north of the islands. Will give us some fresh breeze across the islands through the weekend. We still have that old frontal boundary across the southeastern islands of St. Grand Turk and also Inagua, and ultra gross some cloudy periods with a couple of showers over the southeastern islands. But today, for the most part, we're looking at partly sunny, a bit breezy, on the warm side, with a few showers, mainly across the central and southeastern islands. Your high temperature 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, a few patchy clouds around on the mild side. Your low temperature going down to 66 degrees Fahrenheit. And some regional highs and lows across the Caribbean, Barbados, 81 and 75. In Jamaica, 81 and 68. In Trinidad, 84 and 74. And the Turks and Caicos Islands, 81 and 68. Across North America, Atlanta, 1644. In Raleigh, 47 and 35. In Miami, 77 and 66. Dallas, Texas, 71 and 59. And Toronto, Canada, 29 and 08. Weekend outlook, partly sunny skies, a little bit breezy, still on a warming trend starting, though temperature daytime will be around the 80-degree mark, at nighttime in the upper 60s. That was a wrap on your first look at weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Star.
Thank you so much, Godfrey. Today, March 8th, if you didn't get it in the introduction, as I've said it 4 times already, is International Women's Day. Certainly something to be celebrated. And I'm sitting with 2 fabulous ladies, and we're all dressed in our purple today as we celebrate the great legacy of women and the work they've done, and of course the work that is still left to be done. Very happy this morning to be meeting with the Director of the Department of Gender and Family Affairs, Dr. Jacinta Higgs, and Coralie Adderley, who's the President for the National Women's Advisory Council. Ladies, good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning, blessings, thank you.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And thank you for this important conversation that we're going to share with the nation this morning. Coralie, I'm going to get started with you. What is the theme for this year's International Women's Day?
So around the world, the theme this year is Think Equal, Build Smart, and Innovate for Change.
Okay, Think Equal, Build Smart, and Innovate for change. Okay,
yes.
All things that I think are critical here to us in the Bahamas. How are we celebrating the theme, and why is the theme so relevant to us as a nation?
Well, I think more so this year, there were several activities and we're most thankful.
Okay.
And so we began with the church service at Evangelistic Temple. And then on Thursday, just yesterday, we had a beautiful luncheon at Luciano's.
Okay.
Top women in this country, about 60 women from top positions, parliamentarians, the wife of the Prime Minister, and so all of us who work with issues regarding women. Powerful luncheon, very strategic planning.
Okay.
Minister Frankie Campbell was there and Minister Lanisha Roll as well.
Okay.
So again, how can we strategically work together, move away with resolutions and then action plans and deliverables.
Okay.
Following that, we went to UB. So even though UB is blue, we painted UB purple yesterday. It was powerful, really beautiful. Met by Provost Linda Davis and Dean Stubbs and the students. So it was really, really beautiful. Minister, again, Frankie Campbell spoke with the children there. Today, we're going into schools. And so the department members are flooding schools with the message of International Women's Day. It's important to reverence, to work with our mothers, to respect them, etc. And then following that, there is an awards luncheon. 30 women from urban communities will be honored today for their leadership and hard work within the constituencies of Fox Hill, Bain and Grantstown, Angliston, Centerville, Southern Shores, you name it. And so we're very thankful for that. And so those are some of the ways. Now, additionally, your partners, and Ms. Lally will speak about partners a little later, but you have the police this morning, 9:30 at their headquarters. So ASP Indira Adderley, she will lead the charge there with the commission and everyone. And so then also you had the National Trade Union Congress. They met yesterday. It was powerful. You were there
Yes, I
with
was.
the children, the young people. Beautiful and brilliant. And so this year, many persons are doing different things just to highlight it. And finally today at 10, this morning, British Colonial Hilton, Minister Lanisha Roll will do a mentor-mentee. So girls from high school will be working with, I think, Dame Janet Bostwick, just to guide and train them.
Excellent, excellent. Certainly sounds like a mouthful
Yes,
of activities
yes,
just alone from your side. And you said there are partners as well that have been involved with this. So talk to me about that type of partnership and executing just events in recognition of Women's Day today.
Well, it's not so much for events. Well, yes, like the luncheon yesterday, the National Women's Advisory Council, we partnered with GirlCon out of Freeport and the Bahamas Maritime Authority. Bahamas Maritime, throughout all of their organizations around the world, are recognizing and celebrating women and the role they play in maritime and kind of elevating the professions in maritime. So it was a really great partnership yesterday. And they recognized the women here in Nassau who work in maritime. And you know the work of GirlCon. And so they partnered with us. And so there are other organizations that are doing really great work, not just this week, but all year round to impact the lives of women and girls in our country. And what we'd like coming out of this day, though, is not to be just a day, but this to be, for us, we see it as a kickoff of the year's theme. So this will be our work throughout the whole year, focusing our work around with partnering with NGOs.
I want to acknowledge IDB, their country leader, Daniela Marquise. She agreed to work and to partner with the Department of Gender and Family Affairs. We are going to work with Ali McIntosh and the Josiah Institute with regards to training, working with, guiding women interested in entering politics.
Excellent.
And it was very, very powerful dialogue and co-creation of the curriculum. How does that look in the Bahamas? They've done it all over the world. And so now we've asked them, please help us, because we want to prepare women in politics to enter frontline politics. And so we really salute and celebrate Arithia Komlethi, as she is now the leader of the DNA. And so again, that is a critical thing. Coming out of CEDAW, they're saying women in politics, a quota we must reach. And it's all over the world. You're talking 190 countries. It's not just us. And then additionally, they're saying women in economic empowerment. So they're saying if you don't have the money, and if you don't have the business, if you don't have that flow of investment and funding, and if you don't have the political power, if you're not sitting at the table, they make a joke and say that you're the dinner, you're being eaten.
Wow.
We don't want to be that. We want to sit, and because they're saying, again, if you give a woman $20, and especially our grandmothers and our mothers showed that, to feed a family, they could feed a whole, even the neighborhood children coming over to get some food. So therefore, help. Yes, yes. That is correct. That is correct. And so therefore, allow us to sit with you, man. And so Minister Frankie Campbell, I have to keep saying it because he keeps reminding it. He says he has 3 beautiful daughters. He needs them to have husbands who are competent, qualified, intelligent, and also well prepared. And so he's saying to us, do not leave the boys behind. Now, International Men's Day is November, and we celebrated last November, and we can do a bigger job this year. I just wanted the men to know that as they sit and listen to us, be not afraid of us. Be not afraid. We were taken from your sides. We're here to compliment you. We're here to work with you, and to be a help meet in terms of what it is we do. Allow us to help you make some of the decisions for the country.
Certainly. Looking forward to hearing more coming from both of the organizations as you continue on in your work. How can we join the Women's National Advisory Council? Is there a contact number for you? Or if we just wanted to maybe not join, but to just be more involved in some of the projects that you're doing, how would we reach out to you?
All right, so I want to start by saying I want everybody today, everybody uses social media, use the hashtag Women's Day. That's the hashtag around the world.
Okay.
So post some pictures about whatever you're doing at work with your girlfriends, your sister friends, whoever. And to be a part of our work, just contact the Department of Gender and Family Affairs at the Ministry of Social Services. And I don't know the number in my head.
8600. 397
Yes.
8600.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining us today. Remember that hashtag is Women's Day. Women's Day today. Post those pictures. Also hashtag Women's Day Bahamas so we can see exactly who it is that is here in the Bahamas celebrating with us. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.
WTO memberships will bring benefits to the Bahamas. These benefits include increased economic growth and development, increased opportunities for Bahamian exports, higher employment, better income for Bahamian workers, lower cost of living for Bahamian consumers, increased choices for Bahamian consumers, modernization in government services, and better relations with trade partners. These benefits, combined with progressive planning and execution by our private and public sectors, will produce a better life for Bahamians.
COB prepared me to be a leader by teaching me to work hard for what I want. I'm the first chief internal auditor at the University of the Bahamas. To me, that's an honor to be able to do that. I feel like I'm giving back to a university that gave me a start in my life. I'm Errol Thompson, and this is my UB.
Apply today at www.ub.edu.bs. I'm Jennifer Basden, Group Sales and Marketing Manager for Bahamas Air, and it's my pleasure to invite you to experience Houston. From out-of-the-world excitement at Space Center's Houston, the gateway to NASA's Mission Control, to the over 10,000 restaurants representing cuisine from more than 70 countries. Houston has it all. Come, experience Houston with direct service on Bahamas Air. For more information on flight and packages, visit bahamasair.com.
Welcome back to the show. 5 years ago, our next guest had a double mastectomy following her breast cancer diagnosis. She chronicles all of this in her new book entitled Breastless Beauty. Very pleased to be joined on Bahamas at Sunrise with a legend, Joanne Callender, of course, renowned soprano, and now author, and of course, breast cancer survivor. So very pleased to have you this morning on Bahamas at Sunrise.
Thank you. It's my pleasure. Thank you.
Yeah. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
You're doing well.
Yeah, life
doing
gets better. Yeah, it's wonderful.
So this experience has obviously been life-changing for you. Just to, for those who may not be as familiar with it, just kind of give us a synopsis of, the journey.
The journey begins the minute they tell you you have breast cancer, which is it's a shock when you hear it. But I started making plans immediately on what I was going to say to myself about it. And in writing the book, I decided that all of the thoughts I had when I was told and the experiences I went through right after preparing for surgery and then post and then preparing for chemo and radiation, I decided that I was going to look at things differently.
Yeah.
Because you believe what you constantly tell yourself. And I decided I was going to feed myself things positive, things that I wanted to happen, as opposed to when they said to me I was going to be bald between treatment 1 and 2. The first thing I thought, okay, I've never seen myself bald.
Right.
I've always had a lot of hair. And so this is going to be very interesting. And then as time went along, I said, you know what, it's going to be a chapter in my book. And I'm going to take photos because I'm not going to be bald again.
You won't,
So I will take photographs and I'll perhaps write some poetry based on the experiences I go through. And I did not know it was going to be so much. I didn't realize what was involved in having breast cancer. First of all, it's a bit of a lonely disease because nobody but you're not going through it. It's not like the common cold where I give it to you and all of that. You go through it alone. And there are a lot of moments when you are with yourself and you say, okay, the chemo is building up in my system. I wonder how it's going to affect me this week or this treatment. And luckily my treatments were cut from 6 to 4, which was a great thing. And during that time, I did all of the natural things, the green drinks. I was always a person that had green drinks from the 80s, actually. And so I multiplied everything. I did research to find out what I could drink to kill cancer cells and all of that. And that helped with the process. It helped my mind to always be on something else. And then like I said, I was seeing everything through the eyes of an artist, even to the pumps that pumped the fluid out of the breast when they were off, the chest, I guess, when they were off. They looked like accordions to me. And I said, oh my God, this thing it's a musical experience. I'm seeing it through the eyes of art. And Charlene McPhee, the Sister Breast Cancer Support Group, who will be getting $5 from each purchase of my book, they give you the porticats. And she said, Joanne, she said, I told somebody the other day, run your way through this. I'm telling you today, sing your way through this. And so I just sang. I just kept doing everything normal. I had to debut some music by K. Quincy Parker. And I was at the piano with my pumps in, and I was learning my music, and I performed 10 weeks after surgery.
So I mean, just amazing. But so just the whole outlook, it seems as though you never had any doubts. I mean, you were diagnosed, and you were like, okay, well, on the other side of this, this is what I'm going to be doing.
Exactly. Exactly. I said, okay, I'm a warrior. This is a war. So this is what I do. So I will fight the battle X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
And I was very careful, like I chronicled in here, what I said about what the disease was, what I said about what I was going through. I was careful with who I talked to, who I shared the information with.
Yeah.
People just did not know
That's
because
correct.
I kept performing.
Right.
And I put, like I said, I put words up in the atmosphere over my head so that they would always shower down on me words of life. And I inspired myself. And even going into theater, apparently I sang Amazing Grace for the people in theater that were about to operate on me. So it was a musical thing. I carried myself through it. In this book, I'm inspiring and motivating people to not let cancer change you.
Yeah.
You change the face of how people see and respond to cancer, and be positive about
Exactly.
it.
And of course, it's not a book just for persons who might be afflicted with the
No.
disease. It's for family members, friends, anybody. So you have a book signing tonight.
Yes,
of
I
course.
do.
Yeah.
At Cafe Cafe Channing Noel.
Okay.
At 6 o'clock, between 6 and about 8:30 tonight. And it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a fun time. I'm inviting as many people to come, get your book, and bring it in, let me sign, and say a few words. I write when I see the person, I just write what's on my heart for them. And family members, friends. As a matter of fact, somebody that just bought the book, she was going through a divorce situation, and she found some of the words helpful because they're motivational and inspirational.
Absolutely. Yeah.
To send joy to people and hope.
Yeah. Well, listen. So it's Cafe Channing Noel.
Cafe Channing Noel,
At
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock. Yeah.
And that's the Caves Plaza, out West Bay.
Out West Bay. The first thing I said when you came in, I said, "You're still singing?"
Yes, of course. And the book is dedicated to my daughter, Jody Knowles.
Okay.
Yeah, who is also a survivor.
A survivor. Wow.
Yeah.
What a wonderful story. I might have
Thank
to get
you.
a copy of that myself.
Yes, please do.
So, thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
an inspiration.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
We've been with Joanne Callender. Of course, a book signing tonight, 7 p.m. Cafe. 6 p.m. Cafe Channing Noel, Cable Beach. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back.
Wait, that's Omar Little from The Wire. You think everyone is Omar from The Wire?
Wow, it's really nice to meet a fan.
It's like he's right here. I telling you he's being all type shows and stuff?
And you know, Rev Go Play plays a lot of good movies and TV shows.
Excuse me, can't you see we're watching something else? Rude.
Settle all your pop culture disputes with Rev Go Play. Watch, record, and stream all your favorite shows wherever you are. Free for all Rev TV subscribers. Rev, you and us together.
Good afternoon. First response. How can I help you?
I've been in an accident on West Bay Street. Can you send someone to help?
Yes, ma'am. A first response team will be there in 15 minutes. Are you hurt?
No, I'm fine, but a bit upset.
We're glad you're not hurt. Please, try to relax. Our team will take care of everything as soon as they arrive.
First Response provides immediate on-site service and support from the scene of an accident through the claims and repair process. And it's free to all Bahamas First insured drivers in New Providence every day for any type of accident. If you drive and want first response on your side, call 321st or visit bahamasfirst.com for the name of an authorized Bahamas First agent. First response can't prevent an accident from happening,
But it can certainly ease your mind when it happens.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. The Nassau Cruise Port in downtown Nassau is about to undergo a $250 million transformation courtesy of Global Ports Holding. It's going to make it a popular world-class waterfront destination for both visitors and Bahamians alike to enjoy. And we're happy to welcome back Mr. Colin Murphy. He's the head of business development for the Americas of Global Port Holdings. And you might remember that in our special Christmas edition, we spoke with him about the plans that his company had for the port if they were awarded the contract. Of course, only good things happen when you come to Bahamas at sunrise. So here he is now having been awarded it. Mr. Murphy, welcome back.
Thank you very much, Star. Happy to be here.
A pleasure to have you with us. So exciting that this is about to happen to downtown Nassau. A conversation that's been going on locally for a while about what we need to do down there. And now to have an organization like yours with ports around the world to really be here and to make that happen. You talked about turning this into a national asset. Can you explain that for me?
Yeah, I mean, it would have been easy for us to come in and just clean up the port and throw some paint around and try and make it look pretty. But we really wanted to be part of the effort to transform downtown Nassau. So there's other projects obviously that are going on in the downtown area, and we really wanted to be a part of it. So in our plan, which was ultimately successful, we wanted to upgrade and expand the port, of course, because more ships mean more passengers mean more business for everybody. But we also wanted to create a space in downtown Nassau that would be attractive, not just to cruise guests, but also to the locals and to the hotel guests as well. So we wanted to create something that would draw people back down to the Nassau area again, Nassau downtown.
All right, excellent. And you know, things spread like wildfire. So we've already seen in WhatsApp and in local conversations renderings of this beautiful port that you all are seeing, and I'm sure that people watching the screen will be able to see those renderings too. But it really looks like it's going to be something phenomenal. But it seems as if you can't build anything great without criticism. And so already we're hearing some people say, you know, why would Bahamians awarded this? But there are going to be opportunities for Bahamians to invest in this. And you guys have been meeting with local stakeholders to ensure that they're feeling like they're a part of the project. Talk to me about the stakeholder meetings and engagements you've had
We've
thus
met
far.
with many local groups. Let me see how many I can remember. For example, the Retail Association, the Chamber of Commerce, Downtown Nassau Partnership, we've had lots of meetings with them. The folks from the straw market, we've met with one or two of the taxi associations. I'm sure I'm missing, we've met with some of the professional associations. The Contractors Association, I think the Architects Association, the Engineers Association. So we're really trying to make an effort to introduce ourselves to the community so that they know who we are and what we stand for and what we plan to do. So we think that's important. So we're kind of in the middle of that now. And really it's an effort in introducing ourselves, but also listening, kind of the listening tour.
Yeah, and I think people are always happy when they get to say something and they have an input in it. And then obviously you guys and we kind of discussed this the last time you were here, this opportunity for not just to be able to say how you feel, but to invest in this and make it a part of your financial portfolio.
We are determined to have as broad an ownership in this project as we possibly can. We would love to see 20 or 30,000 Bahamian folks invest in this port, so they've got something they can pass down to their kids and they have some ownership in it. We think that's really important. And in fact, because we think it's so important, we're going to make $10 million available for loans to people to help them buy shares, basically. And we'll start from the bottom up, so it's a minimum $1,000 investment, and then we'll sell as much of that as we possibly can, and then we'll work on other methods of financing that thereafter. But we're very committed to making sure that this is a broad-based ownership group as possible.
Okay, excellent. And I'm sure people are happy to hear that. And you hear something like $1,000, and it seems like that's something that's reachable. And then, of course, you have the opportunity to get financing. So really exciting information. I'm not sure because this is new. We got right on the story, and I'm sure that this will be a time period thing. But can they go to CFAL? How do they connect in terms of just learning more information about how they can start to process their minds for this investment?
Yeah, that's a great question. So in the coming days, we'll open a website.
Okay.
The name of the entity that we'll be using here is Nassau Cruise Port Limited. So we'll be opening up a website. And if people are interested in investing, if people are interested in submitting ideas, if people are interested in employment, if people just want more information, that's really the best venue for them to go to. Okay. In terms of investment, that really won't start for something like a year. Okay. But we would encourage people to go to the website in coming weeks and register their interest, and then when we're ready, we'll communicate with everybody.
Yeah. And websites are so cool these days. Once you go on and you log in, you kind of can subscribe, and then you find out more information as it's happening. So that really is a good way for people to know exactly what's going on with the investment side of the process and the project as a whole. One of the things I heard and I'm excited about is that you guys are doing something related to Junkanoo Museum, and I love Junkanoo. So can you tell me more about the state-of-the-art entertainment pavilion and the Junkanoo Museum that you intend to have
absolutely.
down there?
I'm excited about it too. We think there are so many things that you can do with technology these days. I mean, the word museum sometimes to some people sounds a bit boring, but Junkanoo is anything but boring.
Right.
So we want to look at all the different sort of technology that we can bring to the table to help make it a really sort of interactive experience for people. Because a lot of people don't really know what Junkanoo is. So it should be fun and educational, and they should leave knowing more than they did when they arrived. And we've already started talking to local Junkanoo experts and gods. I won't mention any names, but we're going to do something awesome in that area, believe me.
All right, it sounds exciting, and it sounds like a space that will encourage more tourists to come off the ship and onto the land. One of the challenges that we've had, we know we've got these great tourists coming in, we've got large numbers, and it's been impressive in terms of our tourism numbers. We don't always see the dollar spend the way that we would like it to be. You said that you've kind of committed yourself to ensuring that we raise that dollar spend to what's become the national average across the Caribbean. We're just a bit below that right now. How do you plan on doing that?
Well, at the moment, your average spend cruise passengers is around $60. And the Caribbean average is around, I think from memory, about $87. So we think there's lots of things that we can do to help improve that number. The first is that we'll be offering training. We want to bring in experts and work with local experts actually to make sure that local retailers that would like some help have some training and some support and some understanding of marketing and product selection and those things. So we can work with them there. There's a lot of expertise here already. But for folks that maybe the smaller vendors that would like some help with that, we can do that. We're going to make available microloans to small businesses because there's a lot of great ideas in the Bahamas. But sometimes it's tough because you just can't get the capital to start. So we want to help jumpstart some of those businesses so there'll be more things for people to do. We think there's a ton that we can do to help increase spending, and actually it should go way over $87 really. It should go way over the Caribbean average.
All right.
So that's the goal.
Yeah, and I love those things. I love when we talk about training, which just gives us new opportunities to expand our minds and think about new ideas that we might not have put into our current businesses. And then you talk about startup businesses, and I get to work with the Small Business Development Center, and they've been keen on that. I know you've spoken with them as well. So it's good to know that you're talking to local partners, really wanting to make an investment in an overall product, not just in the physical, but also in the people. And I think that's pretty exciting.
Well, you have to. I mean, the tourism industry is all about delivering service. And if we can help people polish their ideas, how exciting is that? So we're looking forward to it. And also the other thing is tour operators and tour attractions. How can we support them? How can we support the taxi drivers? How can we support everybody really in the community so that everyone makes a little bit more and everyone benefits from the upsurge of all these new passengers that we're going to be bringing to Nassau?
All right, and so it certainly sounds good from a professional perspective. Before you go, is there any charitable work that we can see coming from your group?
Yes, I mean we have an organization, foundation that we're setting up called the Yes Foundation.
Okay.
And that's going to be financed in two ways. Number one, it will own 2% of the port. So all of the dividends from the project will go to the Yes Foundation. And we're also jump-starting that effort with a $3 million grant. And so that will be managed by a local board of directors, by Bahamian board. And we're already starting to look into some great things that we can do to help support youth education and sports. So that's what the YES Foundation stands for, Youth Education and Sports. So we think, I'm super excited about that. There's some great opportunities for us to help.
Listen, a man after my own heart, youth education, sports, certainly I think things that really help to build up a community, get people on board, playing with the team, communicating in an effective way, and building leadership. And so I think from all around, you guys have certainly tackled this, looking again at not just physical spaces, but people. And so I think that's a brilliant thing to have. And hopefully we'll have you again as the timeline progresses. When do you think you guys will be done and will be able to enjoy all it is that is to come?
Yeah, 2021.
Okay.
So when in 2021, we're not sure because we have to, first of all, we have to conclude the agreement with the government, which may take 30 days, 60 days, 120 days, hopefully not. But we're itching to go. We were hoping to start early this year, but so we've got to go through that first. Okay. We've also started some of the studies that we need to do, the environmental studies, the bathymetric studies, the surveys and so on, all the things that we need to do. So we're very we have a laser focus on delivering this product in 2021.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, only good things happen when you come on Bahamas at sunrise. So we
You know,
trust that it's
it's
not
all
going to
down
be
to you.
120 days. Yeah, you've got good luck now. So in 60 days, you'll have something sorted out. And definitely by 2021, I'm looking forward to seeing downtown transformed. Thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure, absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. Of course, we bring you the latest developments happening throughout the country, ways that you can improve your life. And we're going to be back with more after this commercial break.
In the past, I've had a lot of issues with service, data service, drop calls. I was encouraged by a very close friend of mine to make the switch, and in doing so, my service has been impeccable. The data is very fast, it doesn't spool, it doesn't take long to load, so everything works beautifully. I like to know what my bills are, and it's important that I'm able to simply just pick up my phone and know what my bill is. The front line for the Valley Boys is comprised of about 200 members. It's very important because to be a successful leader, I need to be able to efficiently and consistently communicate with them. It works that way. It's beautiful. The data that you guys provide is flawless. I'm John Williams, and I believe in best.
Since 1967, Focal has been a vital part of the Grand Bahama community, providing high-quality products and great customer service. Today, we continue to work hard and remain focused on fueling growth for people throughout the Bahamas.
So who really own the Nassau Container Port?
Boss, that's easy. The government.
I do.
I do. Thank you.
I do.
I do. And one day, he will too. I do. Knock knock.
Here at the Nassau Container Port, we've diversified our ownership to give hardworking Bahamians a piece of the economic pie. And we'll continue to grow so that we can give you a consistent return on your investment. That's our promise.
Welcome back to Bahamas at Sunrise. We're at the halfway point this morning, and as you will see, we're set up a bit differently at this mid-show, Phil.
Yeah, we're standing up.
We are standing up, and it's because we've got an awesome man, a brother of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity with us. You might remember for the month of February, Phil and I were talking to different graduates of historically black colleges and universities, and it's kind of culminating now into something that's really going to be special.
Yeah, and very pleased to have the president of the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity with us. No stranger, of course, to the country, Kevin Baston. Good morning and welcome back. You guys have a culmination of the whole month and a fair coming up, eh?
Yes, good morning, Bahamas, and that's quite correct.
Okay.
This weekend, we have a HBCU college fair, historically black colleges and universities college fair. We have 6 presidents that would be there.
Presidents?
Presidents of 6 HBCUs that would be in attendance to be able to meet with not only students, we're inviting parents to come out as well, and in fact there may be some working persons who may now at this point in their lives want to go back to university. So this gives a good opportunity to learn about these universities, to possibly get some scholarship opportunities, and we see it as a great thing.
Yeah, that's phenomenal. I mean, have the presidents themselves come out. I think it's really a big
expect nothing
deal.
else from
the Alpha Phi Alpha AK. That's what you wanted to say.
In conjunction with the AKs.
Of course, I wasn't going to forget us, but you said 6 schools are going to be involved. Where and what time will the fair take place?
The fair will take place at the British Colonial Hotel on Saturday from 2 to 6 p.m. and again on Sunday from 2 to 6 p.m. It's free, it's open. We want, like I say, all the students that are interested in going off to university, and while we do promote the University of the Bahamas, there are always students who want to go off. So this is an opportunity for them to be able to get a good, solid education and in fact at lower cost as compared to some of the very larger universities. The other aspect about it is persons who would have went to an HBCU will tell you about the fact that the school is a bit smaller, you get more dedicated education, and the success rate is even greater.
Oh, wow.
Is it just the 6 schools?
We have 6 schools on this occasion.
Okay.
This is our first launch,
Okay.
and we hope to have an annual event.
Okay.
So going forward, we'd actually have more schools.
Okay,
Absolutely. I think that's very impressive.
Yeah, and they're going to have a President's Tell-All Forum. So again, that's happening at the British Colonial Hilton this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, 2 to 6 p.m.
2 to 6 p.m. on Saturday and on Sunday. That's correct.
Sunday. Okay, all right.
Well, listen, Kevin, thank you so much. Got on your tie and everything as
Well,
well, man.
thank you too.
He's a brother, nice brother, Alpha Phi Alpha. Everybody can't be great, but you know, some people try.
I mean, that's an Alpha Phi Alpha tie, man. Loving that, man.
And so we've got more to come in the second half of the show, and we're so glad that you stuck with us so far. Kidney Center, of course, is here, and then Folk Hall, right?
Yeah, we have a type piece on the Brad Sun. It's the newest vessel in the fleet. I think they have about 6 now.
Okay, excited about that, and really excited to hear the young students from Kniford Key come in,
TED
given their
Talks.
mock TED Talk.
Absolutely, right after this, right?
Right after we get from Godfrey Burnside with a second look at weather. Here he is now.
Weather at sunrise, brought to you by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Thank you, Star, and good morning, Bahamas. And your second look at weather at sunrise. To the northwest, we have a high-pressure system that's going to cause some breezing conditions across the islands over the next couple of days. Also, to the south, we have that old frontal boundary over Inagua, Meguana, and Turks and Caicos at this time. And that's going to trigger over a couple of showers, particularly over the central and southeastern islands over the next couple of days. In your marine forecast, we do have a question posted. Those winds today easterly at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet on the northwest and central Bahamas. Northeast to east at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the central southeastern islands. Then on Saturday, across all the islands, those winds easterly at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet. On Sunday, those winds east to southeast at 15 knots, seas 3 to 5 feet on northwest and central Bahamas, continuing easterly at 15-20 knots, seas 4 to 6 feet over the southeast Bahamas. Your tides. You can expect a high tide at 8:50 this morning. Your next low tide will be at 3:06 this afternoon. High gain tonight at 10 minutes past 9. Sunset will be at 6:13 this evening. Rises more at 6:25. UV index 7. Your water temperature 73 degrees Fahrenheit. Honeymoon phase, new moon. External look, nice weekend store weather-wise. Partly sunny skies, a little breezy. We've got a warming trend starting. Slight chance of window showers, mainly in the southeastern islands, though temperature daytime will be around 80-degree mark. At nighttime in the upper 60s. That puts you up when you final look at the weather at sunrise. I'm Godfrey Burnside. Back to you, Phil.
Thank you very much, Godfrey. Very pleased to be joined this morning by the Life of Key International School, of course, to engage them in real-world issues and creative and critical thinking. This morning we have the grade 9 humanities teacher, Ryan Mannery, and he is joined by Shanaj Johnson. Did I say that right? Yeah. All right. And Rain Hart. Students, grade 9 students at the Life of Key International School. You're doing a different type of thing down there, man.
We sure are.
Yeah, yeah. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
Good morning. Thank you very much.
Talk a little bit about the curriculum before we let the people know exactly what it is we're going to be this morning.
Absolutely. So we have we use the International Baccalaureate system.
Yeah.
So we have a global perspective on just about everything we do, which is what we're going to be seeing in a little bit. Isn't necessarily focused on the Bahamas, but poverty in general.
Okay.
So we take an interdisciplinary approach to a lot of what we do, because in the real world, you are not walking into a history class. You're not
Correct.
walking into a math class.
Right.
So we try to, I'm actually the interdisciplinary specialist at our school, and we design these different units that bring in different disciplines. So our next unit is going to be about genocide and peacekeeping, which is a very heavy topic, but it's with English.
It's a very heavy topic.
Yes, and they can handle that.
Okay, yeah.
But,
and that's something that we probably underestimate, particularly with the students of, I guess, this generation, is that
absolutely.
It's a different crew. I mean, the knowledge that they're exposed to, at least the information, they have to be able to kind of pull it all together.
Got to prepare them earlier and earlier, right? So yeah, so they will have 2 subjects working together in tandem, and then 1 assessment for that. And the assessment will be a debate, actually. So it's not a test, a paper test.
Right.
So assessment that you're going to see today is these are our 2 finalists.
Okay.
From TED Talk.
TED Talks.
Yes.
All right. So speak a little bit, just really briefly, about that particular project.
Certainly. So the unit we just finished up is global poverty. And we start, each unit is in 3 chunks. So we start with factual information. How do we define poverty, different ways of defining poverty. Then we get into the conceptual focus. What are the impacts? How does it impact society in different ways? And the final is kind of debatable section, and then what are the solutions to poverty. So what they've done is picked case studies. So we've got a European example and a South American example, and they're pitching their own unique solutions to poverty, that they came up with.
Well, great. I mean, your approach to this project.
Well, we always start with like a research journal at the beginning. We create a research question, and then we start researching and we create guiding questions that we try to answer.
Which
through our
country?
research.
Did you choose your country?
I just choose my country, but it'll go. You'll find out in the presentation.
Well, Shanaj, speak a little bit about how you feel about doing these types of projects.
Yeah. So this is my first year at Lifeford. I love it. It's different, so much different from how schools in the Bahamas are, like the curriculum is structured. And so like when we have big projects and presentations like this, it's not like you're being thrown into hot water like you don't know what you're doing. Because it's like we do so many things, so many steps to get here in different classes, not just humanities. Like it's all like presentation, real world based, preparing me for like this moment.
All right. Well, listen, we're looking forward to. We got our own TED Talks here on Bahamas at Sunrise, y'all. Which one of you are going to go first?
I'm going first.
All right, great. So we're going to step off the scene and we're going to let rain fall. No, don't fall.
With new ambitious goals, such as eradicating absolute poverty, come new adversities which prevent us from reaching said goal. One of these adversities is war, and I believe the way to find a solution to this problem is to look at a prior success. That prior success is now ranked 5th on the Human Development Index. Just so you know, the United States is ranked 13th. The country is Germany, and we'll specifically be talking about Germany after World War I. So what caused the poverty in Germany after that time period? Well, it was the Treaty of Versailles. When the Treaty of Versailles was signed, they had to give up multiple things, such as some of their land, most of their military, and they had to pay $60 billion. In an attempt to do this, they printed money and also received loans from the United States. But the printing of the money caused hyperinflation, which basically means that the currency became almost worthless. At its peak, $1 equaled 4.2 trillion marks. And 20% of the country was eating from soup kitchens. Then someone offered solutions, and that was the Nazi government. And although I do not agree with their evil ways and they did despicable things, some of their economic plans were successful. And you can see this in how in only 6 years they rebuilt their economy and was able to be a powerhouse of World War II. So how did they do this? Well, first, through U.S. loans and debt. They didn't pay it, which is not something that should be copied by any other country. But they did put in place a full employment public works program, which essentially supplied jobs to the people. In conjunction with that, they created an independent monetary policy of sovereign credit, which means, it's very fancy, but all it means is that instead of paying them with real money, which they didn't have, they gave them these credits that were almost like coupons that said, I owe you X amount of money. And this in total was able to create 5 million jobs, and this new credit almost became like a currency. Finally, what could they have done better? Now, this isn't the Nazi Party, but previously they should have implemented a politically independent central bank to oversee the production of the currency. This is what's being done with the euros, and it could have been done to prevent inflation, because it's in the best interest of the banks to make sure the currency is as stable as it can be. Finally, what can we learn from all this? First, that an independent monetary policy of sovereign credit goes well with the full employment public works program to supply jobs and be able to pay them even if the government doesn't have the currency to do so. Finally, a politically independent central bank can be put into place to prevent inflation from happening in the first place. Finally, I just want to say that the reason that the Nazi Party was able to get into power was because of vulnerable people. And vulnerable people, desperate people, lead to radical leaders. Thank you.
I want to start with a question. Now, it may come off as rude or even blunt to some people, but I really want you to pay attention to this question. Are you insane? You probably didn't hear me, so I'll say it again a little louder. Are you insane? You see, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and yet somehow still expecting to see change. You're listening to me today, and I guarantee you that you are aware that the world is impoverished, and yet you're still in your home, still sitting there doing absolutely nothing. But hey, while we're on the topic of educating people, I want to take a look at this poster that I did in humanities class. Now, I come to the realization that this poster can like fall apart. So I made it bigger and better. And if you look at that, it's like really cool. So I want you to look at the first main cause of poverty that I have listed, violent conflict. This is gangs, wars, drugs, which leads to poverty, and in some unfortunate cases, death. Fittingly enough, all these things stem from one problem, a lack of education. It doesn't take an Einstein to know that dumb people don't make smart decisions. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations, you have just been enlightened with Colombia's poverty trap. To recap for those of you who feel like now is the time for you to pay attention, it goes no school, no job, no money, gangs, wars, poverty. Would you look at that? I forgot death. Now, this is the part of my talk where I start giving you hope for the future. Because I can stand here all day and talk about the stupid things that humans do, but what good would that do? Now, you can solve this problem one or two ways, indirectly or directly. Indirectly being we can sit here and pray in God and hope that Colombian government somehow enforces education and somehow the world just magically becomes a better place. Or we can look at it directly, hit closer to home. Yes, this is Earth, but even closer. Yes, our country, the Bahamas, but even closer. This is our island, New Providence. We can make so much of a difference from right here. My solution to poverty is to create clubs that's main focus is fundraising, education, and other places. And even here, we can provide school supplies and even scholarships. And yes, you may be thinking, my clubs may only provide 1 or 2 scholarships. But what if that person goes to college, and what if that person becomes a motivational speaker? And in his audience sits the future president of a country. Michael Jackson once said, if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change. If you want to aid the eradication of poverty, you got to start home. Here, help make a difference.
All right. Wow, wow. Listen, you are watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We've been with the Life at Key International School, Shanaz Johnson, Rain Hart, Ryan Mannery. Boy, dumb people don't make smart decisions. Over to you, Star.
And it's Ila? Thank you so much, Phil. Well, I'm here talking to Dr. Ilsa Grant-Taylor. She's the internist and nephrologist at the Kidney Center. Good morning and welcome to Bahamas at Sunrise.
Good morning.
It's a pleasure to have you with us because we know that on the 14th of March, it's World Kidney Day.
It is.
And on Saturday, March 16th, the Kidney Center is hosting its annual Fun Run Walk. And this is important stuff when we consider someone like my co-host Phil, who had some major kidney challenges last year, and we recognize the kidneys are quite important to the body. So what are the basics for those who may not know? Why are the kidneys so important?
Okay, we'll start with the basics.
Mm-hmm.
If you hold your fists, that's about the size of your kidney.
Okay.
And if you put your hands behind your back, like you have your hands on your hip, that's where your kidneys are located.
Okay.
So they're in the middle of the back, just under the rib cage, and they're about the size of your fists.
Okay.
And they look like kidney beans.
Okay. And that's where I guess where the name comes from somehow.
Exactly. So that's where they are.
Okay.
Most people have 2. Some people are only born with 1.
Really?
Yeah, but that's very unusual.
Okay.
But even if you have 1, you're still okay.
Okay.
And the kidneys are responsible for several things. The most important feature is that they clean the toxins from your body.
Okay.
And the toxins are then dissolved in your urine and come out of your body.
Okay.
That's the feature that most people know about. But the kidneys are also responsible for helping your body make the red blood cells because it produces a protein or a hormone called erythropoietin, which helps the bone marrow make red blood cells to carry the oxygen. It's also responsible for your calcium metabolism to help keep your bones strong. So the kidneys have a lot of different features.
Yeah. Yeah, and, and I've always heard, okay, kidneys clean the body and you urinate as a result of them, but I didn't know they were connected to so many other things.
They are.
And
they are.
Is there something that we should be doing to have better kidney care? For example, what causes kidney disease?
Well, now that's a really complicated question, and you told me you only have 3 to 5 minutes, so I'll try to do my best with that. So if you have good health and you don't have any other comorbidities, your kidneys are usually going to be fairly okay.
Okay.
But in the world, the #1 cause of kidney failure is diabetes mellitus.
Oh, wow.
So as a diabetic and you're not controlled, you can have kidney disease.
Okay.
Hypertension also causes kidney disease.
Okay.
And then diseases such as lupus, they can cause kidney disease. Sickle cell disease can cause kidney disease. So with other systemic diseases, the kidney is a bystander, an innocent bystander that gets damaged.
Wow.
But there are also diseases that just affect the kidneys.
Okay.
And those diseases are called, are you ready for this name?
I'm going to hear it.
Glomerular nephritis.
Glomerular nephritis.
Yes.
I said it correct. Look
You
at me.
did.
Okay,
so the
what's that?
glomerulus is the working unit of the kidney, and that can get damaged.
Okay.
And that condition tends to be genetic, and there is an increased incidence of some types of glomerular nephritis in black persons.
Wow.
There's a very famous example. There's a basketball player who was on the Miami Heat. I'm sure a lot of the basketball fans know him, and he developed glomerular nephritis.
Oh, wow.
A very healthy young man who was on his way from Australia and got sick. He was coming back from the Olympics, and he ended up having kidney disease.
Wow.
So there are some diseases just pop up in the kidneys.
Wow.
And then there are also cancers of the kidneys,
Okay.
and there are also kidney stones.
Okay.
So there's a whole myriad of diseases and conditions that cause kidney problems.
Okay. I mean, it certainly sounds so, and I guess, some of those would be one-offs, right? And so we understand that. But certainly we know in a country where we have large rates of diabetes, large rates of hypertension, that we want to watch what we're eating as much as we can to try to make sure that we taking care of these things that seem to just do so much for our bodies that we often don't think about. And I think that's the purpose of this month, and one of the fun run walks that you're having is to raise awareness about the kidneys, to encourage people to eat right, to be healthy. Talk to me about the fun run walk. When and where will it take place? How can we get registered?
This is very exciting news. Our Fun Run Walk is on Saturday, the 16th of February at 6 a.m. Oh, geez, yes, the 16th of March. Thank you. It starts at Kidney Center, which is at Renal House at 190 West Bay Street, which is right across from Papal Track.
Okay.
We're going to be starting to walk at 6, so we'd like persons to gather before.
Okay.
And they can call this number, 322-1530, to get information.
Okay.
And the walk is going to be staged, depending on your fitness and your enthusiasm. You can start at Renal House and go to Saunders Beach. You can start at Renal House and go to Go Slow Bend.
Okay.
Or you can start at Renal House and go all the way to Goodman's Bay.
Okay.
And then back.
Okay. The back is a critical factor. The
It
back
is.
a critical factor. All right, I just want you to give us the number one more time.
322-1530.
322-1530.
Correct.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us this morning. Certainly an excellent lesson, I think, in health and the importance of the kidneys, and mentioning some other things we may not have heard of in terms of what can happen with kidney disease. So I'm hoping that people are interested, that they'll come on out to the walk on the 16th.
On the 16th of March. Next week, Saturday.
Next week, Saturday, and learn some more from you. Thanks again for joining us.
And if they have any other questions about kidney diseases, they can call and leave a message, and I will do my endeavor best to get back to them in a timely manner.
All right. Thank you so much. And she certainly is a woman of time, but made the most efficient announcement of big words that I've ever seen on this show. And so you hold that title now, Dr. Grant Taylor. You're watching Bahamas at Sunrise. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Good morning, Sunrisers. This is your boy Sovereign with your live weekend calendar. The third annual Bahamian Exchange, Friday, March 8th, Queens College, Session 1, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m., and Session 2, 7:45 to 9:15 p.m. Adventure in the Arts Act 2, an edutainment experience for all ages, featuring acclaimed pianist Dion Cunningham. internationally recognized artist Alan Pacino Wallace, vocalist Shara Wallace, soprano, Anton Cunningham, tenor, and professional dancers Jared Brunson, Complexions Contemporary Ballet, and Daphne Lee, Dance Theater of Harlem, Friday, March 8th, and Saturday, March 9th, Christ Community Church off Fire Trail Road between Gladstone Road and Sir Milo Butler Highway, 7:30 p.m. nightly. Ride for Hope, Saturday, March 9th, Governor's Harbor, Eleuthera, 7 a.m. Oppa! Greek Fest, Saturday, March 9th, and Sunday, March 10th, Greek Orthodox Church grounds, 12 noon until. Splash Soca Day Fete, featuring live performances by Tevin Crown Turner and GBN Neutron, Saturday, March 9th, Fort Charlotte, 3 p.m. until. The Bahamas Girl Guides Association presents Guide Week 2019, Thriving for Better, Today's Girls, Tomorrow's Leaders. Guiders Gathering, Saturday, March 9th, Progressive Dining, Camp Discovery, 7 p.m. The Right Dress Bridal Show, Sunday, March 10th, National Training Agency, Gladstone Road, 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. Alpha Sound Promotion presents Twisted, the Ultimate Cool Effect, featuring Overdue by Irfan Alves, Mind Your Funky Business by Fimbo. Sunday, March 10th, BFA Soccer Stadium, 9 p.m. until. That's your live weekend calendar. To have your event posted on the calendar, please don't hesitate to email kaubrey@tclbahamas.com. Alive, believe in best.
The performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
Hi, I'm Davrielle and welcome to Rev Tips, where we answer your most important Rev service questions. Today's question is, how do I set up a Rev My account? It's super easy. To create a Rev My account, simply visit www.cablebahamas.com and click the My Account icon. Next, select the Create Account option. Please have a copy of your latest statement on hand. Enter the information as it appears on the statement to the respective areas on the form. When you have finished, click Create Account to continue with the process. Once you've registered your account, you can use your username and password to check your account balance, view past statements, and pay your bill online. And that's your Rev Tip for this week. Thanks for watching, and be sure to join us next time.
Welcome back. Focal Holdings Limited commissioned a brand new tanker on the 26th of February, bringing their Bahamian fleet to 6 vessels. Our Arpatura Burrows has more.
The latest addition to Focal's fleet of tankers is Bradson, named in honor of the late Bradley Roberts. The decision came after a resolution was reached between directors of Focal and its largest corporate investor, Sunshine Holdings Group. Sir Franklin Wilson, Focal chairman, shared just how important Bradley Roberts was to this partnership.
It was a way of saying to the world, and particularly his widow and children, that we so appreciated the respect that Bradley showed for the core values of the group and his commitment to execution of those core values. And they include investing in sectors which are important to the well-being of the Bahamas, being an enterprise which commands the respect of its business partners and customers by reason of its reliability and the confidence of its creditors in the company's trustworthiness, making varied and meaningful contributions to the common good of all Bahamians. Bradley's commitment to these values was evidenced both by his role as a stockholder and a director, and equally by his personal life as a successful businessman and an impactful politician. A common link to Bradley's accomplishments in these varied areas was his personal sense of team, an appreciation that there is no I in team. The reality is that for us, we always believed it was important to assemble the best team to pursue clearly defined goals. And two, to work together because team members are strongest together.
The tanker will be operated by BTI Shipping Company Limited, a partnership between two investors. One of the investors, Roberto Alfonso, who is also a permanent resident of the Bahamas, was present at the ceremony. The ceremony was held under the patronage of Governor General Dame Marguerite Pindlin. Hartlyn Roberts, widow of Bradley Roberts, was named godmother of the vessel. Most Reverend Patrick Pinder, Archbishop of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Nassau, was on hand to bless the vessel, which principals say boasts many impressive features.
The overall length is some 459 feet. 12 cargo tanks with a capacity of 2,231,884 gallons. This represents approximately 10 times the capacity of the legacy fuel tankers in the country. We boast a cargo discharge capacity of approximately 212,000 gallons per hour. All of these points are relevant in the 21st century, but particularly so to the growth and resilience of an archipelago, which lies squarely within the hurricane belt. Allow me to explain the relevance of that comment. At the time of the most recent hurricane that impacted New Providence, you would recall there was a period of time where there was panic gripping the motoring public. Long lines at service station, a lot of other problems. You know what caused those lines to stop? When we were able to go through social media and show the tanker discharging fuel. At first, people didn't believe it. And why they didn't believe it? Because the hurricane had just passed. But it was the foresight of Focal's management, led by Mr. Robertson. We had filled that tanker, sent it to safe harbor. So as soon as the all clear was given, boom, the tanker was there.
Focal's leaders anticipate that with this expanding fleet, they will be able to duplicate the same winning strategy in different parts of the country at the same time.
The point is, ladies and gentlemen, Focal as a company, we are very serious about making our contribution to national development. Very, very serious about that.
At the ceremony, Focal's president and CEO, Anthony Robinson, spoke of his pride in being part of the organization.
The accomplishment that we are most proud of occurred in 1999, when we took the company public and over 1,400 Bahamian bought shares in Focal. 1,000 shares purchased for $5,000 in 1999 is worth $38,400 today. The owner of those shares received $14,950 in dividend payments as of February 2019. I am often asked, what is the key to focal success. In my opinion, we are successful because the partners are intentional in their efforts to manage their relationship and partnership for the mutual benefit of the organization. I repeat, the partners are intentional in their efforts to manage their relationships and partnership for the mutual benefit of the organization. By managing their relationships well over 37 years, the partners created a stable environment with ample resources for management to succeed.
Reporting for Bahamas at Sunrise, I am Petura Burrows.
Thank you very much for joining us on this edition of Bahamas at Sunrise. Have a wonderful weekend. Actually, the Exuma Music and Heritage Festival. Lots of great images coming in from there. Actually reminds me to say good morning to Patrice Roll. You have a wonderful day.
Good morning, Patrice. And thanks, everyone, for joining us. We will be back here on Monday with more. Make it a safe and wonderful weekend. And again, happy International Women's Day.